Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year! It's finally 2017 and we can say goodbye to all of the bad things that happened in 2016 and try really hard to only remember the good things. So instead of filming a December favorites video, I've decided to do a best of 2016 for all of my skincare and beauty and a few other favorites, sort of like random things that I thought would be relevant. So if you've had a list of stuff that you've been writing up and I haven't mentioned any of them, maybe it'll give you the push that you need to go out and just bring them into your life. So let's not waste any more time and just get straight into it. So let's talk about some primers, and the first one I want to talk to you about is the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. Yes, lots of P's in there, but I really enjoyed this product. It is super mattifying. It just sucks every ounce of moisture and oil out of your skin, so it's extremely good for my skin type, which is quite oily. So I tend to use this one on my nose and forehead and chin. It helps the makeup stick so well and I just really love it. And my second favorite primer is the Too Faced Hangover X primer, and this one is just so lush. It's wonderful, it's moisturizing, it leaves a tacky base for you to work with, and even though I do have quite oily skin, I've never once had a problem with using this product. It is so good. It smells incredible and it's just really nourishing, and I think it's infused with coconut water. Yeah, it says right there. I put this one under actually most of my mattifying foundations and it just makes it sort of demi-matte and beautiful, and I really love it. Would recommend it to anyone. So jumping into foundations, I'm going to start off with the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. And this one has a beautiful consistency. It's like a moussey consistency. It goes onto the face really nice. It wears really light. Even though it's full coverage, it doesn't feel cakey or heavy. And I just apply this one with a flat top kabuki brush. And if I find there are any places where it's a little too heavy, I just use a damp beauty blender and just bounce it out, and it just, oh, so beautiful. Coverage is amazing for days when I'm feeling like a full, sort of a full face of makeup. And I'm wearing this one today, and I think it's just so flawless and so beautiful and amazing. And yeah, pretty much anyone can wear it. And my second foundation favorite for the year was the Urban Decay Naked Skin One and Done. And this one was my favorite from a few months ago, and I've still used it. I'm nearly empty, like I'm hanging on to it because I really love it, and I probably will repurchase this one as soon as it's all gone. This one is a sort of like a light coverage, closer to a BB cream or something like that, but I don't have to set it in place. It has SPF. It pretty much does everything that I need it to do on days when I don't really feel like wearing a lot of makeup, so I would say it's my ultimate no makeup look kind of foundation. Moving on to concealer, I have one concealer favorite for the year. And even though there were a bunch of other ones that I tried, nothing came quite so close as this one. And it is the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. And I really love this formula. It's got a very liquidy formula, which I really enjoy because some of the heavier ones are quite cakey. And you know how you can get that little sort of like gray look underneath your eyes if you try to put a concealer over it? Any dark circles and it doesn't quite cover it. This one definitely doesn't do that. So I would recommend this concealer to pretty much anyone. It doesn't really crease, which is great because, as you know, concealer has a tendency to crease if you don't set it very well. I find this one to be wonderful and great, and it just does exactly what I want it to do. So as you all know, even if you do have an extremely good foundation and concealer, it'll just be a big old mess if you don't set it all in place. My favorite setting powder for 2016 was the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, and I know that this is a high-end product and that a lot of people don't really like it, but I haven't had any problems with it. Every time I set my under eye with this one, it is just flawless. I don't get creasing, it doesn't look messy, and I don't ever look powdery or cakey. And my second favorite for the year is the Skin Food Peach Sake Silky Finish Powder. And this one is so great. It's a little bit drier than the Laura Mercier, but I only use it to set my face and a little tiny bit under my eyes sometimes, depending on what I use to conceal with. And it just has the most amazing fragrance. It smells exactly like peaches, and it's just so refreshing when you apply it, and it feels really cool for some reason. But anyway, I would highly recommend grabbing this one because it is a fraction of the price of the Laura Mercier, and pretty readily available at any sort of Korean or Asian skincare or beauty shop. So yeah, grab it and enjoy. So the next thing that I'm going to talk to you about is contouring and highlighting and blush. So I'll start off with contour, and my favorite contouring powder this year was actually the Ciate contour. And this one here, it comes in a delightful little palette. Inside it has like a little wheel, and it has 2 contouring shades, 2 sort of under eye highlighting shades, a blush, and in the center there you've got this little sort of pretty white iridescent shimmer. That one I don't really get much use out of, but I definitely use this banana shade, and I use both of the contouring shades quite a lot. It has a delightful vanilla fragrance, as does most of Tarte's products, and yeah, I just think it's a really great travel-friendly contouring palette, and yeah, it's my favorite. Now we have some blush, and my first favorite blush for 2016 was the Becca Mineral Blush in Wild Honey. And I do think that this one is a very good tone for pretty much any skin color. It's such a beautiful shade. I think it's the perfect sort of burnt orange blush. And I think it goes really well on my skin tone, but it will also be great on somebody a little bit fairer than me, somebody darker than me. So yeah, I think it's a really good investment. It's so pigmented, it's really soft, and you don't need to use very much product. And my second favorite blush for the year is the Benefit Dallas blush, and this one here is a dusty sort of rose color. I actually use this one, as you know, I use this one to blush and contour because it is the perfect shade to contour and blush at the same time. I don't know why, but I think it's just the cool tone in it makes it a perfectly acceptable contour. And if I'm feeling really lazy, or if I'm doing a more natural look and I don't want to use too many products, this one here is just so perfect. It covers all of the bases that I need it to. Now we'll move on to highlight, and my first favorite highlighter for this year is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, and this one is their pressed formula and in the shade Opal. It's soft, it is pigmented, it highlights like crazy, and I think it goes well on so many different skin tones. I think that Champagne Hop is a gorgeous color, but it's completely overrated when you compare it to this shade. I love it, I will never be able to live without it. And I probably won't ever have to because there's so much product in there. And my second favorite is something that I got introduced to a little bit later in the year, and it is the Ofra Rodeo Drive Highlighter. It's a beautiful product, it has a really fun pattern in it, it's very inexpensive compared to some of the other highlighters I have. I would highly recommend anyone pick this one up. It's a beautiful indie brand that does amazing liquid lipsticks as well, and I think it's just the most beautiful highlighter. Moving on, we will talk about some brow products that I really enjoyed, and my first favorite and all-time favorite pretty much is the Sigma Brow Powder Duo, and this one is just so great. It's the perfect powder. I do my eyebrows with it nearly every day. It's wonderful, it's soft, it's pigmented, and it goes on just so easily. You just use an angled brush, a liner brush, a brow brush, whatever you've got, as long as it's sort of thin, it is so great. I will probably be including this one in my favorites videos forever. It's just so good. And my second favorite brow product for the year was something that took me completely by surprise, and it is the Benefit 3D Brow Tones, and this one is in the shade 2, and it's sort of a golden blondie shade that you brush through darker eyebrows to give it more dimension. And that's just amazing because I have quite flat brows, so when I fill them in, they look very flat to my face, but if I put a little bit of this through and just brush it through, it gives it more dimension and more volume and more life, and it's just so pretty. But yeah, surprising, but definitely my favorite this year. Next up we have some eyeliners, and my first favorite is the Ico Black Magic Liquid Liner. And it was a completely unexpected favorite, but it has exactly the right amount of pigmentation, and it also has the amazing calligraphy brush tip, which I super appreciate. I really don't enjoy using felt tip liner pens because I don't think that they go on as smoothly, they're often not as pigmented, and yeah, they're usually a little tiny bit rough, and this one's perfect. It's so good. I would highly recommend it to anyone. It also has like some sort of properties in it to help your lashes be full and grow and not get damaged. So yeah, it's amazing. And my second one is a drugstore favorite, and it is the Maybelline Lasting Drama 24-Hour Gel Pencil. And this one is so black, it stays on so long, and it's perfect for the waterline and tie line. It doesn't matter how teary your eyes get, it doesn't move. It stays there the entire day, and I actually have to go to some effort to get it off my eyelids. So yeah, definitely grab this one. It's pretty much in every drugstore ever, and you know, it's just a great product. Moving on to my mascara favorites for the year, and my first #1 favorite for this year was the Ciate. I think this one's called the Faux Cils Mascara, and it's just in black. It is so wonderful and volumizing, and it's genuinely one of the best mascaras I've ever tried. I will say it is quite high end, so it has a fairly high price point, but it's definitely worth it. I'm wearing it on my lashes today. It's very volumizing. I think I only even put like one coat on my lashes today. Still, so good, curls them, keeps them looking beautiful and dramatic all day, but not too dramatic, and I think it's just a really great mascara. And oh, it smells like rose water. And I mentioned that in one of my previous favorites video, but still, just such a wonderful mascara. And my second favorite mascara for the year, I'm so typical, it's the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. This is such an obvious favorite because it's a beautiful, volumizing mascara that just makes your lashes look so full and dramatic. And if you apply it correctly, it just looks so great. It amps your lashes up, and yeah, I just think it's great, and it wears so long. Moving on to the eyes, I'm going to talk about my 2 favorite eye primers for the year, and my first one was the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and really, let's face it, this one should be in everybody's favorites video because it's so beautiful. It doesn't let anything crease, it holds your shadows to your eyes like crazy, and it just provides such a smooth base. I just don't know how anyone could love it. And my second eye primer favorite is the Tarte Colored Clay CC Primer, and this one is really great if you want a little bit of coverage on your eyelids before you apply any shadows. I grabbed this one to replace my MAC paint pot, which I no longer use, and yeah, this one's great. It holds the shadows to your lids. It provides just the right amount of coverage. Not too much, but not so little that it's not worth it. And yeah, I just think it's great. So we're going to move on to my eyeshadow favorites of the year. And my first #1 favorite is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. And this one has a beautiful finish. It has the classic Tarte vanilla fragrance. And it's a combination of their creamy matte shades and some of their really beautiful foiled shades. And I'm wearing the shades Jet Setter, Smarty Pants, Rebel, and Leader, as well as Firecracker on my lids today. So I use quite a number of them, but they're so beautiful and they smell so good and they wear so well, and honestly, it's just a beautiful, perfect neutral shadow. So beautiful, such perfect, much bad English speak. I get a little bit ridiculous when I start talking about things I love. So my second favorite eyeshadow palette of the year was the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, and I know that this one was a little bit controversial because not many people appreciated the lack of orange in the palette, but I think there is just enough orange and pink in this palette. I think there's so many beautiful neutral shades, and I think it's just like a beautiful variety of peach related shades. So they don't have to be peach to be peachy shades. The smell is incredible. As I mentioned before, I really like peaches. They're so beautiful, they're so sweet, they're so refreshing, and I think this one is a wonderful palette for spring and summer, but I would wear this all year round because there's just so many neutral shades in there, and you can pretty much wear this whenever or wherever or however you like. It can be dramatic, it can be sort of soft and everyday, and yeah, it's a beautiful formula. And I'd like to make a special mention of the Urban Decay Moondust eyeshadow, just in the shade Solstice. This one here has been my savior this year. It's beautiful, it's glittery, it's so easy to just throw a little bit on if you're running out the door and you just have a very small amount of time to try and get a sort of reasonable eyeshadow look together. It's so pigmented and glittery. You just rub a little bit on your finger, pat it on your eyelid, pat a little underneath your eye, and you're good to go. Moving on to lips, my favorite liquid lipstick of the year was the Black Moon Cosmetics liquid lipstick formula. What can I say about this one? It's beautiful. It has a very easy to apply formula. It's nice and moussey. It has an incredible smell. The pigmentation is just amazing. I'm wearing the color Celine on my lips today, and I'm fairly certain I used these in a few of the tutorials that I did. And so we also have Harvest, which is a gorgeous orange shade, and we also have Grim, which is a nice cool toned brown, and I think they're all just such gorgeous, versatile shades in one of the most comfortable formulas I've ever worn. And my other lipstick formula that I really loved this year was the ColourPop Lippy Sticks, and that's in their matte formula. I also didn't mind the Matte X formula, but I think the matte formula is a little more comfortable to wear. My favorite shade is the shade Grunge, which is a beautiful sort of earthy toned brown. It's sort of like on the warmer side, and it could be mistaken for a burgundy or a red, but it's definitely a brown, definitely one of my favorites, and perfect for a 90s grunge lip. And my last beauty favorites for the year are setting sprays, and my first favorite is the Urban Decay All Nighter, which is pretty much everybody's favorite, and I'm sure everyone's talked about this one in the past. It's not a new product, obviously. I'm fairly certain Urban Decay has just re-released all of these with some new things in new packaging, but this is their original packaging. I really like the purple. It's very consistent with their theme, and it's a really good setting spray. Thanks Scandinavia for all of your products. And the next one, I don't think it's really a setting spray, but it's a really great facial spray, and it's the Mario Badescu. It's the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, rose water, and herbs, and it's just such a beautiful spray. It's super refreshing. It smells just like rose water, and I absolutely love it for when it's hot and you just really want to spray something on your face to just feel a little bit cooler and a little bit more refreshed. So yeah, it just wakes you up. You're my favorite every year. Alright, now that we're done talking about makeup, let's move on to skincare. And my first skincare favorite for the year is the Glam Glow Gravity Mud, and this was in my favorites a few months ago. It's a beautiful mask. It has a little brush that comes with it, and it's like this beautiful sort of platinum looking formula. It's quite sticky. You brush it all over your face, you let it dry, and you peel it off, and oh, there's just something so satisfying about peel off masks. And this one is just such a beautiful formula. It smells so good, and I really feel like it works. Next up, we have a favorite of mine that has been pretty much in my life for the last two and a half years, and is the Liole. Is that how you pronounce it? I have no idea. Liole, regardless, it's their Water Drop Sleeping Pack, and it is a water-based nighttime cream formula for your face. So it's just a night cream. And for me, with my oily skin, it's just such a beautiful, refreshing cream to put on. It's not too heavy, and it really just has been keeping my skin in good condition for the past couple of years. And yeah, I love it. I will keep buying it as long as it's available. Next up, we have two products from Soap & Glory, and the first one is their Smoothie Star Breakfast Scrub. This one has been a favorite of the masses for many years, I'm sure. It is beautiful. It's so wonderful as an exfoliator when you're having a shower. I usually only use it about once a week, and it's just so wonderful. It smells delicious. It's great maple scent, it says. I don't know, it just smells gorgeous. I really just would love to eat it. Obviously I can't, but it is amazing, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. Soap & Glory are very well priced, I believe, and yeah, I just think it's great. And my second Soap & Glory favorite is the Smoothie Star Lightly Whipped Body Buttercream, and this one has the most incredible smell. You thought that the breakfast scrub had an amazing scent. This one here smells exactly like pistachio and almond and vanilla, and it's so lush. It's beautiful. It's a very thick formula, so it's really great for if you have dry patches on your body, and it leaves you smelling so good for like the entire next day if you put it on at night before bed. Next up we have some nail polishes, and my favorite formula from the entire year of 2016 is the Ciate nail polish formula, and they have released some really wonderful products during their sort of Christmas line. Everything was, I think, pretty fun and fearless. It's so gorgeous. I have this beautiful snow globe that I got when their Christmas collection came to Australia, and I also picked up a little sort of hanging Christmas ornament style sort of nail polish duo, and I have been wearing them consistently. Every single time I redo my polish, I use these. They've got gorgeous shades. It's a beautiful formula. It dries really fast, and it stays on for so long. It doesn't chip very easily. I have them on my nails today. They're gorgeous. I like to do a little bit of a feature nail, so having glitter shades and sort of matte shades or just like simple block colors, it's just the best thing. And my second favorite nail item is the Sally Hansen Miracle Gel nail polish, but just the top coat. The other shades are fine, like they're alright, they wear alright, but this one I like to use with all of the other nail polishes I have to make them last longer, and it really does the job. It makes them even more chip proof and holds them on there, and you don't need a lamp for this one. Such a good formula. I highly recommend it to anyone. It's available in most drugstores. And now I just have another couple of favorites for you, and one of them is a fragrance, and my favorite fragrance for the year has been the Zara Dancing Vanilla, and I do believe this is just an eau de toilette. It's still a wonderful fragrance. It's vanilla, but it's not just vanilla fragrance. There's notes of like floral in there, but they're very subtle, and it is largely a sweet sort of vanilla-y fragrance. I wear it everywhere. There's so little I've used out of this, and I've had it since April, and I wear it nearly every day. I usually only put on a couple of spritzes when I'm about to walk out the door, but yeah, it's a great fragrance, and I think it's fairly inexpensive, so I would recommend it to anyone. And my last favorite for 2016 is a candle, and it is the Bath & Body Works Pumpkin Spice Cheesecake Candle. This one smells delicious. It is gorgeous. It has such a long burn, and oh god, it's just so amazing. It smells like caramel. It just smells exactly like caramel and pumpkin spices, so cinnamon, nutmeg, clove. Oh, it's the most gorgeous candle, and I love orange, so the color, the fragrance, just everything about this candle makes me so happy. And I like to burn it for about an hour at night time. It makes the room smell gorgeous and beautiful, and I just like to fall asleep smelling things that are pretty. So thanks for joining me, guys, and watching my best of 2016 video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful 2017 so far. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like. For more videos in the future, hit subscribe. Stay excellent, and I'll see you next time. Bye!